So yeah, I guess we're live. Yeah. So hello everyone. My name is Aakash, and today I will be taking a session on UCAVs and autonomous drones. And इसमें हम क्या क्या सीखेंगे बता देता हूँ, पहले थोड़ा कंटेक्स्ट दे देते हैं आपको. फर्स्ट थिंग इज कि ड्रोन्स मेन बेसिकली काम कैसे करते हैं, आपकी एंड्योरेंस क्या होती है, आपके बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स वर्किंग के क्या होते हैं. उसके बाद फिर आपके ऑटोनोमस मिशंस कैसे होते हैं, आपके फ्लाइट कंट्रोलर्स कैसे काम करते हैं, and propellers वगैरह motors basic stuff. And we'll go into the advanced stuff, that is कि आपके high endurance जो UCAVs combat aerial vehicles होते हैं वो कैसे काम करते हैं. एंड जब हम UCAVs बनाते हैं तो हम क्या दिमाग में रखते हैं, क्या हमारे दिमाग में होता है कि व्हेन वी आर डिजाइनिंग एन UCAV उसके पर्पस क्या होंगे. जैसे करंट करंट वॉर टाइम्स में, जैसे against Ukraine Russia war maybe, they were 3D printed drones. So we will be going into that also, ki how 3D printed drones work and how are they little different from it. And the other thing is कि how payload delivery works, कि अलग अलग drones पे हम अलग अलग payload delivery कर सकते हैं. For example, simple FPV drones में हम सिर्फ एक तरह से जुगाड़ type and some tinkering with the motor, the frame itself helps us to make an payload delivery drone. And next I will be telling you about how like jets work basically. कि normal जो higher advanced UCAVs होते हैं that you see that are used at borders and for reconnaissance or satellite imaging, or not satellite imaging but for reconnaissance and surveillance. तो वो कैसे काम करते हैं, because they don't work in a traditional way, they use jets. They use like petrol, gasoline or aviation fuel or petrol to run. And because उसमें हमारे endurance and batteries cannot work at that time. So let's start. Let's do it. I'll change to the presentation. So yeah, presentation I can, मैं बस AI से बना ली बस मैंने. I'll just start with. So definition, for definition wise, I'll just explain the what are autonomous drone and what are UCAVs. दोनों का purpose बहुत different होता है. And autonomous drones जब हम पढ़ते हैं, when we start learning about autonomous drones, the first thing we learn is agricultural drones. Agricultural drones are those कि आप you just define a path and वो autonomous missions करते हैं, sorties करते हैं for like what do you say, कि मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल इरिगेशन के लिए या पेस्टिसाइड्स के लिए. So those delivery systems are used, those autonomous drones are used. And then after that, multiple, they are used in multiple domains. The first thing we learn is agricultural drones. Then after that we go in what do you say, disaster management. And then we go in combat, and then delivery systems. There are a lot of things in autonomous drones. Autonomous drones का मतलब होता है that you don't need any human intervention or any human like controller. You don't need someone ki constantly observing or handling the drone itself. The drone will have with a self set defined path, mission plan or path, वो जाएगा अपना काम करेगा and it will come back. And that is also called an ATOL, or autonomous or takeoff and landing. So that what makes an autonomous drones autonomous, because when you remove the human part from it and make it so that the drone can handle itself, stabilize itself, and even like dodge some certain objects or obstructions, then it becomes an autonomous drone. But when we go into the army situations or air force situations, or जब militarized part में आ जाते हैं, then we talk about UCAVs. UCAVs are unmanned combat aerial vehicles. So these are similar to autonomous drones only, but the structure, the purpose, the sole purpose changes by a lot. Because in autonomous drones you would see a motor, four propellers, six propellers, or even eight propellers के multiple cost में होते हैं. But in UCAVs you don't get to see that. In UCAVs you get to see internal combustion engines and petrol engines, not battery or operated motors. Next please. Yeah. So let's go into the applications also. Applications, as I told you, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. And example they're given is RQ4. It's completely AI based, and I will explain on to my experience also. So if you don't know, there is an Indian DRDO made drone called Ghatak. So Ghatak, it looks like this, and it is main purpose is for reconnaissance. So when you see there are sensors also, and this is a complete autonomous drone and works using jets. And so it mainly for surveillance also, and it can be, and some drones can be used for targeted strikes also, like that we used on border areas to like retaliate or something. And targeted strikes as in कि when you are using drones, जब आप upgraded drones भी use कर सकते, you are using FPV drones also. तो वो एक loitering munition का काम करता है. That means loitering means they are just going and to that pinpoint location. And then these FPV drones payload delivery systems are also like that कि you can attack inside a home also. कि if my window is open, the drone can come inside and like drop the payload. Or it can be same used for delivery system and for medical supplies also. One of the key features that I worked on and working on is on medical supplies, because a medical supply box is of 200, the limit we have given is 400 to 200 grams, and it contains basic first aid kits that can be delivered into the combat area without any issues, because people going here and there can be fatal, and drones can go undetected many times. And security and patrol similar to reconnaissance, but for key, instead of human sort along with human sorties, there are also some UCAVs and human controlled drones also, and also autonomous drones. Both the combination of both are used to border the patrol area and search and rescue operations, as I told you, for disaster management also. And when there is what do you say, um, when someone is attacked, or like in situations where rescue is required. So advantages, yeah, advantages you might understand that reduced risk, because as humans will be behind safety lines, and the typical range is 12 kilometers for a normal handle when you get, but it can be increased by a lot, by a factor of lot, going on a satellite based drone, because many drones also work on GPS delayed or GPS denied. So there is also kind of autonomous drones which are GPS denied, because major of the autonomous drones work with GPS, because using GPS only you define a mission path. And there's a lot of factors and technicalities in it. If you want, I can explain that also. And yeah, let's see, we'll go to the comments also after that if you have any doubts regarding this. Now second is cost effectiveness is key. When you are using a 3D printed drone, the cost of printing a drone part, for example, I have an EDF fan here, so similar type of motors are used in jet propulsion. So this is a simple EDF motor that it is for my own project, which I'm making at home. It's a completely 3D printed part, except for the motors itself is an 2200 kV motor, and it is a 3D printed six blade propeller. So it theoretical or tested, someone else tested it. I haven't tried mine. So it gives an thrust of 1.2 kgs almost. So I can make a plane of 600 grams, 3D printed part only actually. The thing is, 3D with 3D printed parts, you can do rapid prototyping also. Okay, if there isn't some issues in my propeller, I can just make some changes and update the part and get it in 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on the print time. The printing time also depends actually, how well or how advanced or how intricate the part is. Yeah. Next, my role of 3D printing on demand manufacturing on the field itself. Yes, one of the major thing that people didn't know is they had 3D printers there also in Ukraine. I'm talking about Ukraine, that they had 3D printers who were printing the calipers also, because when you are using a 3D print drone also, the frames are 3D printed, because it costs around, if I talk about this part only, for the this outer shed and for the propeller itself, it cost me around 20 rupees, the, and the CDF. And when you go on online, you get it for like 2500 or something, so it's very cost effective in actual cases. And if it is damaged, I can just reprint it. I have the files. I don't have to wait for it something else, except for the electronics. Yeah, to ud gaya bhai. So then I can't do anything. Then yeah, lightweight structures. And one thing about 3D print parts is ki these parts are actually quite light actually. So depends on the how heavy you want it and how light you want it, because weight is also one of the crucial things that needs to be taken care of when you are working on drones, because आपकी payload capacity and आपका motors पे stress load on the motors and the battery cells पूरे system पे आपका load आता है depending on the payload, because the FPV drones they are using are at their limit. So it's not like इतना वो भी नहीं है कि खराब नहीं होते, they get like bad very easily. So because they are already pushing them very far, very hard. Examples, yeah, I have, yes. So 3D printed parts are well, actually good, and one of the most fascinating things is that even rockets are being 3D printed using metal. So metal 3D printing is also there, and a lot of prototyping is done, and making also finalized drones also are built are being built on 3D printed parts. So the place where I work, I'm working on 3D printed drones only. Yeah, one of the challenges and ethical considerations that need to come that comes when you are making drones is the autonomous like challenges. There are also many ethical considerations when you are working on drones, because अगर वो गलत हाथों हाथों में पड़ गए, if they go into wrong hands, and because जो drones UCAVs बनते हैं they are confidential, because the material used, the type of jet used, उनके thrust उसके thrust का उसका simulations, the simulations also are done. There are also hundreds and hundreds of simulations done on on these designs, and a lot of variables are not told to the public, and it becomes a really what do you say, like for example, America didn't give any F-22 Raptor to any other country, reason being the confidential and the materials used or the design used in that particular jet. And the EDF motor I printed, it's actually for a 3D printed jet only. It's an F-35C, and I will be printing it on my home 3D printer, and I'm making it. I will test it out how it works. Yeah, and future, yes, as the AI increases. Currently, the mission planner, I will I will also show you the mission planners and how simple autonomous drone works, and they can be used for. I will be telling you about agricultural drones mainly in this particular situation. And the swarming technology, if you heard about, if you play games, you have done key UAVs and swarm. The 5 drones are deployed and they just go and blast there. So this is a game in Call of Duty. So I'm a Call of Duty player, so like I'll give that reference also. And the it's what do you say, when we are making it, it's very exciting also, because आप काम कर रहे होते and you see कि उड़ गया नहीं but उड़ गया. It's really great, and when you are working on it also, and you get to understand a lot of things also, because this field is comprised of multiple fields, electronics also, AI, machine learning also, because I built a prototype or drone for human recognition, and which were used for what is it, disaster management, to supply the medical supplies which I was talking about earlier. And uh, there's a lot of possibilities in UCVs also in normal autonomous drones. Then third is counter drone systems. Counter drone systems are key. What do you say? For example, currently we are using nets to catch these drones, and to even intercept those drones also we are using missiles. But instead of that, we can work upon completely autonomous drones which are used for different drones to be intercepted. For example, jets for jets, like when you're doing a dogfight. So it's similar to that only. So many considerations and many researches are going on there. Yeah, case study. Case study, you can just, I gave you multiple case studies right now only. Confusion, yes, future is then. Now I will show you the what do you say, of mission planner. I will be showing you CC3D. So CC3D is a flight controller used for complete use for controlling the flights and like what do you say कि आपके जो offsets वगैरह होते हैं it can be used to automate your drone also. So I will be showing you so for CC3D, but the recommended is this Pixhawk. So Pixhawk is a flight controller, and it can be used with it contains a lot of like features, and its autonomous mode is very nice actually. So I'll show you the CC3D because that is currently in my PC system. I will show you the system also, how they work. So I'll just stop the screen right now. Wow. Am I live or my video is stuck or what? Just a second. Hey, my camera is working or not? Let's see. So I'll just okay. My camera is working. Okay, I'll share you the screen also. Let me show you this again. And so I don't have to. Yes. So I'll show you my CC3D. Let's hide this. What is? Yes. So this software is LibrePilot actually. So in LibrePilot, you use these CC3D to design or what do you say, configure your plane drone itself. So this is for specifically for CC3D autonomous drone, and there are multiple sensors and configuration that you can use. So it can be used for multi-rotor and helicopter design. So these are some of the softwares that people use, and we use also. So there are a lot of sensors, firmware also, and many things to be taken consider in considerations, right? So I'll just share off my screen and yeah, there's my stream app. No, I'll stop the screen now. Yeah. So I'll go to the comments also, and if you have any doubts, I can go on with that. Yeah. So, so any doubts are there, sir? Actually, um, so seriously. So am I मैंने नेट नहीं चल रहा है या क्या हो रहा है? I don't know. I'm online. Am I online? My camera is not working. Please help. Hello. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather today. Is there issue with my?